Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know I love these deep dives.
Yeah.
And today we are going way back to explore early childhood education theories.
Okay.
And you've given me a ton of sources here.
Yeah.
Articles, books, and even a copy of practical preschool books.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be good.
Yeah. This is a lot of
Really rich material.
There's so much more to this field than people think.
It really is.
It's not just about finger painting and nap time.
No, it's not just finger painting and nap time.
No.
It's really amazing how much these theories, dating back centuries, still really shape how we think about and approach early childhood education today.
So true.
It's like we're all part of this really long conversation about how kids learn best.
Okay, so let's rewind the clock and meet some of these pioneers.
Yeah.
We've got Rousseau, right?
Now, his ideas about kids, I'm already kind of confused.
Right.
He talks about this innocence of childhood,
Right.
but also thinks that kids can be much more independent than most people thought way back then.
Yeah.
How do those two ideas even work together?
That's a really great question.
Yeah.
Rousseau's idea was that we should revere childhood,
Okay.
but he also thought that children learn best through direct experience, not just by being told things.
Okay.
So this sparked a whole new way of thinking about education.
Oh, wow.
Think about all of the nature preschools that are popping up everywhere.
They are everywhere.
That's Rousseau's influence.
Oh, wow.
This idea that kids are inherently connected to the natural world.
Oh, that's such a direct link.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way. And speaking of really pushing the boundaries, we've got Pestalozzi.
Oh, okay.
This guy opened a school that became so famous that people traveled from all over Europe to see it.
Real
hands-on learning, making the school a real community.
Yeah.
He was way ahead of his time.
So Pestalozzi actually took Rousseau's ideas about experience-based learning and ran with them.
Really ran with them.
He believed in nurturing the whole child, their emotional, social, and intellectual development.
That sounds familiar.
Really familiar.
It's the bedrock of modern early childhood education, play-based learning, social emotional programs. All of that goes back to Pestalozzi's vision.
Now, this next source you gave me is a real gem.
Oh, good.
Robert Owen, a cotton manufacturer.
A cotton manufacturer?
Yes.
Wow.
Created one of the first workplace nurseries.
Interesting.
But get this. He used a baby alligator to teach kids about geography and natural history.
A baby alligator?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about a hands-on lesson.
That sounds wild.
Wild.
But Owen was very concerned about social responsibility even back in the early 1800s.
That's pretty forward thinking.
He really believed that education was key. Not just for a good job, but for a fair and just society. So that baby alligator wasn't just a gimmick.
Oh, wow.
It was his way of making learning exciting, memorable, and, well, maybe a little bit dangerous.
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
We have to talk about Froebel.
Okay.
The man who gave us the word kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was all about play.
Yeah.
But also had a very structured approach, right?
Right, yeah.
He created these gifts. Sets of blocks and shapes to teach specific concepts.
So he saw play as the heart of learning, but he also recognized that kids need some guidance. His gifts were really brilliant hands-on exploration. Mixed with learning about shapes, sizes, and spatial reasoning. I mean, those are basic concepts that we still use today.
Absolutely.
As the foundation for so much of what we teach in early childhood.
So true.
Now were his methods too rigid?
Ooh.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's a debate that's still going on.
Right.
But you can't deny his lasting impact.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now we are stepping into the world of psychoanalysis.
Okay.
Which is a whole other level.
Yes.
You've got Freud, Anna Freud, Melanie Klein, and Erik Erikson. And they all have different ideas about how kids develop.
It's so interesting how their work had a huge impact on how we understand children's emotional and social growth.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Psychoanalysis really made us think about the why behind kids' behavior. It's like it opened up this whole new understanding of their inner world, their fears, anxieties, and what motivates them. Now, out of all of them, I think Erikson has had the biggest impact on education.
He really has.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he gave us this framework for understanding how kids develop their sense of self. Build relationships and face social challenges.
He did. It's all about understanding child's emotional needs to help them learn better.
That's so true.
That's pure Erikson.
It's fascinating how these ideas connect, isn't it?
It really is.
And speaking of powerful influences, we can't forget John Dewey.
Right.
This man was all about learning by doing.
Yes. He was.
He thought education should connect to kids' real lives. And that they should be active learners, not passive recipients of knowledge.
He was a revolutionary. His ideas about progressive education are still huge today.
So true.
Think about project-based learning, which is everywhere now.
Everywhere.
That's Dewey in action.
It's so true.
He believed that kids learn by interacting with the world. By figuring things out for themselves. And his emphasis on community and collaboration in learning. We see that reflected in so many classrooms today.
So true.
Especially in those early years.
Now, this next source, it's fascinating.
Good.
Margaret Macmillan. A true pioneer in nursery education.
Oh, wow.
She was obsessed with gardens and outdoor learning.
Interesting.
She even built an open-air nursery.
Wow.
Where kids could be free to explore and connect with nature.
She was way ahead of her time.
Way ahead of her time.
Macmillan understood that the physical environment impacts children's well-being.
That's huge.
Long before nature deficit disorder was a thing.
Right.
Think about her open-air nursery, fresh air, sunshine, and nature as a playground.
It's amazing.
It's like the blueprint for so many nature-based programs today.
Wow.
Now, some people thought her approach was a bit too much for little ones.
Right.
But there's no denying her impact. Look around. Outdoor play and nature exploration are key parts of most early childhood programs today.
I see it everywhere.
That's Macmillan's legacy.
Okay, buckle up.
Okay.
Because this next one is a bit different.
Right.
Rudolf Steiner.
Okay.
And the Waldorf schools. Talk about a unique philosophy. They really emphasize imaginative play.
Okay.
And they take a much slower approach to academics.
Waldorf education is definitely its own thing. Steiner believed that children's early years should be all about nurturing their imagination and creativity. He wasn't a fan of pushing kids into formal academics too soon.
Right.
He saw the value in hands-on learning, artistic expression, and a deep connection to nature.
It seems like a much gentler approach.
And, you know, in our world of screens and academic pressure cookers, the Waldorf approach offers a refreshing alternative.
It really does.
It's about giving kids the space to just be kids.
That's so important.
It is.
Okay, now we've got to talk about Maria Montessori.
You're right.
Her method is still hugely popular today.
It is.
Her carefully designed materials and those child-centered classrooms are all about fostering independence and that love of learning, it seems like.
It's a classic for a reason.
Okay.
Montessori really understood how children learn best. Hands-on exploration, figuring things out on their own, and feeling like they have ownership over their learning. And those Montessori materials are like little puzzles that unlock complex concepts.
They really are.
And are there debates about whether it's too structured or doesn't focus enough on social emotional development? Of course. But that's what's so great about it.
Right.
Montessori's work forces us to think critically about what really matters in early childhood.
Okay. You know, we also have a source on Susan Isaacs and the Maltinghouse School. She was a researcher who somehow managed to blend John Dewey's ideas with psychoanalysis.
Psychoanalysis.
That's quite a combination.
That is a really interesting combination.
Creating a free and stimulating environment where kids could follow their passions, but also being incredibly attuned to their emotional needs.
So talk about bridging the gap between theory and reality.
It's amazing.
Isaacs took those big, complex ideas from Dewey and the world of psychoanalysis and turned them into a real living, learning environment.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
At the Molting House School, kids were really encouraged to be curious.
Right.
Their emotions were taken seriously.
Yeah.
And every child's learning journey was unique.
And that focus.
Yeah.
On careful observation, really understanding the whole child. That's Isaacs's gift to us.
Love it.
It's something every educator should carry with them.
Now get ready for some big names.
Okay.
We've got Piaget and Vygotsky.
Piaget, Vygotsky.
Two absolute giants in the world of developmental psychology.
Two of the biggest.
Piaget, with his stages of cognitive development, totally changed how we understand how kids' thinking develops.
Piaget's work is like the foundation of the house.
Oh, wow.
Those stages, sensorimotor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational, they're the roadmap to understanding how kids' thinking transforms over time.
Wow.
And his big idea that kids are actively building their own knowledge through their experiences, well, that's been a game changer.
It has.
For educators all over the world.
And then there's Vygotsky with his emphasis on social interaction.
Social interaction,
And that idea of the zone of proximal development.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so fascinating.
So Vygotsky takes what Piaget gave us and adds another layer. He brought the social and cultural side of learning to the table.
Oh, wow.
Imagine a child trying to build a block tower. And getting frustrated. A teacher who understands Vygotsky's zone of proximal development wouldn't just take over. They might offer a hint. What if you tried a wider base? Or demonstrate how to make a stable structure.
So it's about
providing just enough support to help the child succeed. And let's not forget his work on how language shapes thought. That's a whole other rabbit hole.
We can't leave out B.S. Skinner. And his behaviorist theories, can we?
No, we can't.
He was all about operant conditioning. This idea that you can shape a child's behavior by rewarding positive actions and discouraging negative ones.
Skinner's impact is undeniable.
It really is.
Even if behaviorism isn't the whole story, think about it. Using positive reinforcement and setting clear expectations are still cornerstones of classroom management.
So true.
But, it's important to remember that there's more to a child than just their outward behavior. We have to consider those internal factors, their thoughts, feelings, and motivations to truly understand how they learn.
All right, one more giant in the field.
Okay.
John Bowlby.
John Bowlby.
And his attachment theory.
Yeah, attachment theory.
He really shed light on how those early bonds between children and their caregivers shape their whole development.
Bowlby's work was a revelation.
It really was.
He showed us that those early attachments are not just about having basic needs met. It's about feeling loved, understood, and connected.
True.
And his research made it clear that kids need responsive care. That feeling of security and love for their brains to truly focus on learning and growing. Think about how much emphasis there is now on parent education and creating nurturing learning environments.
That's true.
That's Bowlby's influence in action.
It's amazing.
It is.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
But we're not done yet.
No, we're not.
Next up, we've got Jerome Bruner.
Okay.
With his spiral curriculum. Chris Athey. And schema theory. And Loris Malaguzzi.
Okay.
And the Reggio Emilia approach.
Oh, wow.
Stay tuned as we continue to unpack these fascinating ideas.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into early childhood education. I don't know about you, but all these theories and brilliant minds have me rethinking.
It really is
an eye-opener, isn't it?
About how kids learn.
And we're not done yet. We left off with Bowlby and the impact of early attachment, which is a perfect bridge to our next topic. Brain development.
Ooh, brain development.
Remember all those billions of neurons we talked about.
Yeah.
They're like the tiny building blocks of learning in those early years.
Right. Are when the most important connections are being formed.
It's mind-boggling.
It is.
Those early experiences actually shape the physical structure of the brain.
They do.
And the research shows that those first few years
it's true.
are so important for language,
for everything,
emotional regulation, cognitive skills, like everything.
Exactly. And it's not just about, bombarding kids with stimulation. Right. It's about the quality of those interactions.
Right.
Think about it like building a house. You need the right materials and a skilled builder.
Right.
And for a child's brain, those skilled builders are the caregivers. They provide those warm, loving connections that make a child feel safe and secure.
Okay.
And when a child feels safe, their brain is free to focus on learning and growing.
It makes you realize just how important those early relationships are.
Yeah.
Like Bowlby was saying. It's not just about food and shelter.
Yeah. Right.
Kids need to feel loved, understood, and connected.
Exactly.
That emotional foundation.
And it really is.
It
makes you think about the environments we create for young children.
Right.
Are they places where kids feel seen, heard, and valued?
That's so important.
Are there places where relationships are nurtured and emotional well-being comes first?
That's the foundation.
Those are the environments where brains can truly thrive.
It's a big responsibility.
It is.
But it's also so exciting.
It is exciting.
We have the power to create those positive, enriching experiences that can literally shape a child's future.
And that's the beauty of working with young children. It's about laying the groundwork, nurturing the potential that's inside every child.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
And remembering that we need to be thoughtful, intentional, and informed in everything we do.
Now, there's one approach we haven't talked about caught my attention.
All right.
The HighScope approach.
The HighScope.
They have this plan, do, review cycle that sounds so effective in promoting active learning and self-regulation.
HighScope is a great example of taking all those great theories and putting them into practice.
Okay.
They drew inspiration from Piaget, Vygotsky, and Dewey to create a program where kids are active participants in their own learning.
And that plan, do, review cycle.
That plan, do, review cycle is genius.
I love that.
Imagine a child who decides they want to build a bridge out of blocks.
Okay.
They make a plan, gather their materials, and get to work. Then they take a step back and look at their creation.
Yeah.
Maybe it falls down.
Right.
Or maybe it's even better than they imagined.
That's a good point.
But either way, they're learning, they're problem solving, and they're building those self-regulation skills.
That's so important.
That are so essential in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the research on the long-term benefits of HighScope is incredible.
It really is.
It shows that those early experiences can literally change
it's amazing.
A child's life trajectory.
It is.
Better academic achievement, stronger social skills, even more successful careers.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Investing in quality early childhood education isn't just about getting kids ready for kindergarten.
Right.
It's about shaping the course of their entire lives.
That's huge.
The HighScope research really shows just how powerful those early years can be.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
I want to go create
I know, right?
A HighScope classroom.
It's inspiring.
Okay. And speaking of inspiring approaches, we have to talk about Reggio Emilia.
Okay, Reggio Emilia.
Their whole philosophy of seeing children as capable, creative learners with 100 languages of expression.
Yeah, I love that.
It's just beautiful.
It's a beautiful way.
I love that phrase, 100 languages.
Yeah.
It captures the idea that kids learn and express themselves in so many ways.
It's not just one way.
Through art, music, movement, building storytelling. It's about honoring all those different ways of knowing and creating environments where those languages can flourish.
And Reggio Emilia classrooms are, those environments come to life.
Yeah.
They're visually stunning, filled with natural light and materials that invite exploration and creativity.
And the teachers
act as co-learners, encouraging children to dive into projects, to collaborate with each other, and document their discoveries in all sorts of creative ways.
It's not about rushing towards a finished product.
No, it's about the process, the joy of discovery.
And the way they document children's learning. It's fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Not just, those traditional tests.
Yeah, those standardized tests.
And checklists. Yeah. They use photos.
Videos.
Yeah. Children's artwork. Even transcribed conversations.
Yeah.
To create this incredible living record of each child's learning journey.
It's like capturing the richness and complexity of children's thinking in a whole new way.
It's amazing.
It reminds us that assessment doesn't have to be, the scary, judgmental thing.
Yeah.
It can be a collaborative process of making meaning and celebrating all the amazing things that kids are learning and doing
every single day.
Every day.
Yeah.
It's like shifting our whole perspective. Instead of assessment being something that's done to children, it becomes something we do with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to this idea of honoring children's unique ways of learning.
Right.
We've talked about multiple intelligences.
Yeah.
Tehoriki's emphasis on well-being and belonging, the power of play.
Yeah.
All these approaches challenge.
They do.
That old school idea.
Yeah.
That there's only one right way to learn. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Every child is different.
Every child is different.
Every child has their own strengths and passions.
Right.
And it's our job to create those responsive, individualized experiences that help every child shine.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to nurture a love of learning.
Yeah.
That sense of curiosity.
Yeah.
And the confidence to tackle new challenges.
Right.
Those are the skills that will serve children well no matter what.
No matter what.
Okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
In a good way.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
Yeah.
But it feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's so much more to explore.
Vast landscape.
In this field.
Early childhood education is a vast and ever-changing landscape. Yeah. New research is always emerging. New approaches are being developed.
Yeah.
And the conversation about how to best support young children never ends.
And that's what makes it so exciting.
That's what's so exciting of it.
There's always something new to learn.
Yeah.
Something to challenge our thinking. Something to inspire us to be better educators.
Exactly.
Okay. As we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive, I'm curious, what's resonating with you?
What's sticking with you?
What's sticking in your mind from all these theories and approaches?
Yeah.
What's got you fired up?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So many things.
Yeah.
Those forest schools have me dreaming of taking my class on outdoor adventures.
That'd be fun.
And Reggio Emilia classrooms just seem magical. Yeah.
I'm thinking about
how to bring those elements of beauty, exploration, creativity into my own classroom.
Into your own classroom,
But more than anything, this deep dive has really reminded me of something fundamental that we need to truly see and hear. Each child, honor their individual strengths, and create a learning environment where they feel safe, valued, and empowered.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
That's the heart of it all, isn't it?
It really is.
Creating those spaces where children can truly blossom.
I can't wait to see what else we uncover in the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into early childhood education.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think that these ideas, some of them centuries old, are still relevant today.
We've come a long way from Rousseau's vision of children as noble savages to the structured play of Froebel's kindergartens.
Yeah.
We've seen a real evolution in thought.
And yet so many of those theories still resonate with how we approach early childhood education today.
So true.
One of the things that's really stuck with me is this idea of seeing children as active participants in their own learning.
It's a powerful shift.
It really is.
In perspective. We're moving away from that old empty vessel model of education.
That old model.
Yeah, where children are just passive recipients of information.
Or they're just...
It's not about filling them up with knowledge.
We're recognizing.
We are recognizing that they're little scientists.
I love it. They're constantly experimenting, testing hypotheses and making sense of the world around them.
They're not just soaking it up. They're creating it.
And that's where play comes in.
Yeah.
It's not just...
Play is so important.
Yeah.
It's not just kids messing around.
Right.
It's their work.
It's how they learn to solve problems, negotiate social situations, develop those physical abilities, and make sense of their emotions.
Play is the engine of learning in early childhood.
Yeah, we've explored a ton of different theories and approaches. Some are more similar than others.
They are.
But I think there's some common threads.
Yeah, there are some common threads.
That run through all of them.
What do you see as those?
This emphasis on nurturing and responsive environments.
Okay.
Building strong relationships between children and adults.
Yeah.
And truly valuing
the
unique strengths and interests of every child.
That's the foundation.
That's the foundation, isn't it?
It doesn't matter if you're leaning towards, a Montessori approach or a Reggio Emilia philosophy, or maybe you're drawing inspiration from a bit of everything.
Right.
Those core principles are essential.
It's about creating a sense of belonging and safety.
Right.
A space where children feel seen, heard, and celebrated. For who they are.
That's where the magic happens.
I love that.
Yeah.
This deep dive has really made me think about the responsibility we have.
It's a big responsibility, but it's also a privilege.
It is.
Yeah.
We're not just teaching...
Yeah, we're not just teaching letters and numbers.
Letters and numbers.
Right.
We're shaping lives. We're nurturing hearts and minds.
Yeah.
And we are helping children develop. Those skills and dispositions, they need to navigate the world.
Exactly.
And reach their full potential.
We're helping them grow into...
It's humbling and inspiring all at the same time.
It really is.
We have this privilege to be part of these crucial early years.
How those early years?
To witness those aha moments and to know that we're playing a role in shaping the future.
It's powerful.
And this journey through the history of early childhood education has really shown me...
What has it shown you?
The importance of staying curious, continuing to learn and grow, and being open to new ideas.
It's about being intentional and reflective in our practice and always advocating for what's best.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so as we wrap up this deep dive into early childhood education, what's your final takeaway message?
My final takeaway.
For our listeners.
Yeah.
What do you hope they'll carry with them from this exploration?
I hope they walk away with a renewed sense of wonder. For the incredible learning potential that exists within every child.
Every single child.
Yeah. I hope they'll be inspired to create those nurturing, stimulating, and responsive environments where children can thrive.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, I hope they remember that this work is deeply meaningful.
So meaningful.
We're shaping the future one child at a time.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Into early childhood education.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed it.
I hope so.
And until next time.
Yeah.
Keep those young minds engaged.
Yes.
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
And keep advocating for the youngest members
of our society.